Уху! Браво!
Ти го давам и на мама да го види.
Добре, снимам. Благодаря, наистина много. Днеска ще го хапнем.
Ще го изладите.
So we asked for summer and Mother Nature definitely delivered. It is 41 degrees today and it is hot out here on the farm. We have no air conditioners, so we're living on the mercy of the natural insulation our ancestors built for us 200 years ago, which is essentially mud brick over the stone houses. Believe it or not, it actually keeps very cool. The inside of the houses is excellent. It's like a perfect temperature. But the moment you step outside, you just melt. I have double protection glasses because you just can't step into the sun with one pair of sunglasses doesn't do the trick. But I promised you guys life on the farm in the summer. Those of you who watched my winter video, you saw life in the winter and there's essentially no one on the streets. Now there is again no one on the streets, but that's because everyone's down by the river in our little oasis. Overall, life is very different now. We're not yet harvesting for the winter, preparing for the winter. That's going to start happening soon, maybe in 2 weeks or so. We're still kind of laid back and enjoying all of the hard work we put in over the spring. All of our crops are starting to come out. Our tomatoes, our peppers, the watermelons, corn, the cucumbers, everything is ripe for the picking. So that's really exciting. Some of the people on the farm have tobacco leaves, so they are currently getting up 3 in the morning and harvesting the leaves and then sitting and sewing them. I'm going to try to incorporate it so you can see the leaves onto these long strings that they're going to then put in the sun to dry. Luckily, we don't have tobacco leaves. We stopped doing that years ago. It's too much work for too little money, but we are more focused right now on enjoying what we put effort into in the spring, and we are more so just living life right now, loving it, because harvesting for winter is going to start soon. So without further ado, let's get going. Let me show you our beautiful little village over the summer. I think you're going to like it because it's just beaming with life, aside from the 41 degrees. Anyway, let's go take a look. Whew. So I've chosen a different starting point for today's series of videos. For those of you who watched my other video, the winter series, I started in the center of the village, or actually at the entrance of the village. Today I'm just going to start right here at our own little oasis. So this is our house right here, and we are under renovation, but a lot of progress. I'm not going to go into the details in this video exactly, but it's getting there. I'm pretty excited about what's going on here. So for those of you who have seen my other videos, I think you can probably orient that we are in the uptown section of the village. So imagine Manhattan, uptown, midtown, downtown. We are currently in uptown. Our house is pretty much the last house of uptown. I love saying uptown, downtown out here because it really is uptown, downtown. This house was recently renovated slightly. It was passed on to the new owners. I think someone from their family took over the house and they did a couple of renovations. Otherwise, this garden used to be teeming with strawberries this time of year. Right now, there's nothing, but that's because I think the people are just settling in. And as we walk along here, we're going to get to the school. Before we can get to the school, can we just admire this amazing fig? I mean, it's not edible, it's a wild fig, so it's actually, I've been told it's poisonous and not to eat it. But look at that. A lot of figs. And I can't describe the smell. It's just, those of you who've smelled figs before, you know it's this sweet, milky, really really ancient type of smell. And I say ancient because we are on Tracian lands. And figs, pomegranates, these are all things that, fruits that the Tracians would enjoy, along with the Romans who also passed through these lands. We have a lot of Roman ruins here. There's a old Roman road. I've mentioned that in my other videos, but let's just focus on the summer in this one. So here is the school. So contrary to what you saw in the winter, it's being taken over by the fig trees. In the winter, you know, you can see more of the school. Now you're kind of seeing fig trees with the school behind. I have a separate video just on the school. My grandpa studied there. A lot of the people from this village studied there. It's no longer functional, I'm sure you could tell. But it wasn't that long ago when it last functioned. Oh, look at this. So there's this here is, how do I explain it? It's like a little loop that goes around. So our house is over there. And you can get to our house through this path. But look at this. If I'm not mistaken, this is Chinese trumpet vine, and it's a climbing plant, which, believe it or not, is actually mildly toxic to people and animals. So the safest way I've heard to grow it is away from other plants. This one actually just came out of nowhere. The owners of this house haven't come for a while, and next thing we know, it's being overtaken by this beautiful plant. My assumption is a seed migrated from somewhere because I've seen this plant many times in Bulgaria, so I think it's pretty common. There you have it. I told you it's very green. And this is our neighbor's house right here in the sense that when I say neighbor, this is my grandpa's house. So this is actually where I grew up. The other house that we're in right now is my boyfriend's house. That's where we're living now. But this is my grandpa's house. And all my memories are from right here. Look at that beautiful grapevine. It's just heaven. And this is all thanks to the work of my grandpa. I gave the house to a gentleman from the village to care for it against living in it. And he definitely has been caring for it like it's his own. He's taking care of the grapevines right now. And I have to say I'm very happy with how he's been treating the house. Yeah, because this is my baby right here. This is what's left of my grandpa. You see that on the roof? Everyone makes fun of me about this. This used to be our old boiler system, okay? It worked. Okay, guys, it worked. The sun heats it up and there you go. You've got hot water. Of course, we have a functional boiler. We've had it for many years, but that just stays there. Before that, we used to just have this big, giant witch pot that we would put in the sun, and that's how my grandparents would bathe my sister and I before we had that beautiful boiler system you see there, and eventually the modern boiler. This house is totally abandoned. This is actually a good opportunity to kind of peek into the house so you can see. I don't know why these windows are taken down. They weren't taken down. Maybe they were. I don't know. Here is inside of an old house. I hope you can see. And it's a good moment to see how the houses were built. So I say this pretty often, but for those of you who are new to my videos, stones from the river are used and held together with mud brick material. So mud and hay and, dung. And we have wooden beams all along the houses because we are in an earthquake zone. We don't get them too often, but when we do, this is a good shock absorber. This car has been living here forever. I don't know who it belongs to, but it's a staple of the village now. It's a staple of the village. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. And 99% of our houses, all of the original roofs are made out of this these stone slabs that you can see here. Occasionally you're going to see brick or those the red roofing systems, but that's just because people who renovated didn't have the money or the means to maintain these stone slabs, because it's very difficult to find construction workers who can actually master this. They have to be put in a specific way as to not allow rain to fall through. You have to make sure that they're stable and stuck together so that they don't fall on anyone's head. But those who are able to maintain it, Evela is what I'll say. Evela in Bulgarian means like bravo, because it's a defining factor of our village. These roofs, you don't get them everywhere in Bulgaria. It's actually quite rare. Now this house, one of my favorite houses, you can see the work here on the walls. It used to belong to one of the richer people in the village, because hence why it is so close to the center. So the closer to the center you get, the wealthier the occupants are, or I should say used to be. Nowadays, I'm not sure how the values of the houses go. None of them are for sale, so they're kind of just passed on to whoever inherits them. But back in the day, the richer people would be closer to the center. Now, if you look closely, you're going to see a deer carved up there. Sadly, this house is on its way to falling, and I have no way to... I keep trying to find ways to renovate it, but I mean, you need a lot of money and a lot of resources, and the owner doesn't want to sell. So, you know, we'll see what happens with it. At least it's documented on camera. Oh, okay. This is a good example. And a lot of the houses that were especially closer to the center used to have stores on the first floor. So this is an example of an old store. I think I entered in my last video. It looks like they put a padlock. I'm not exactly sure what they're hiding in here, but this is what the store used to look like. And people would come here, eat, drink, and live life. This way you head over to the upper village. Just look how green it is. And everywhere you go smells like different types of flowers and herbs, and it's just a different story than the winter. Okay. This is another staple over here of the village. This car just has been living here since before I was born. And here we're entering the village center. Okay, I'm going to stop it here and continue the rest of the series in separate videos, because I think the center is a good stopping point and a good starting point for next time. In future videos, you can expect to see a lot more people and liveliness. This part of the day when I filmed was literally midday and it was really hot, so everyone was sleeping and doing a siesta. But as I continue the video, I took some breaks and I get to the afternoon. So you'll be seeing some of the villagers and kind of running into them in their daily lives. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. As always, if you could like and subscribe, it seriously means the world to me, so I can keep these videos coming. And I guess I'll just hope to see you guys next time.